Here we go. When you say idle for a long time, do you mean during the race or before the race? If it's before the race, it doesn't matter to me. During. Well, that's too bad. We'll just watch it through and we'll figure out what happens here. But we were able to continue it with a retime, or? Got it. Okay, perfect. I'm pulling up my favorite image related to this console. So these are our racer cards. That's the one thing I can't do when I don't have a co-commentator, is I can't really talk while I'm setting this up, but that'll be fine. You just gotta be a little patient. Nice, GFM's gonna tell us what's going on. Yeah, KirkQ, old boy, been around for a long time. I have fond memories of watching their GDQ runs of like Bomberman 64 Second Attack, and or the Banjo-Kazooie one time, Quest 64. And joins MT and always submits the same games. But they're pretty good, so I'm okay with that. This one is I think the second stream's a little bit cut off, but that's okay. Nothing we can do about that now, especially. This already happened. All right. It's a much earlier match, and the game is... We'll transition over here. Sega Genesis Arcade Medley. Not Medleys. At least I think that's what it's called here.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Hello, GFM.
Hello.
This was subbed by, not by Backup, but by I'll just say TPC. And
I believe it was TPC. I can't remember who made it, but it was, yeah, Nico Jazz. Nico Jazz made it way back in the day,
got
and
it.
TPC resubbed it for this MT.
Cool. So I'm guessing this just kind of loads different game states. I actually don't know anything about this game at all. I've never seen it, and I didn't see this race. I'm excited.
Yeah, that's how it worked. They had to load a game to configure everything, and then they would just need to load each game in order and play them.
Got it. That's why they were both playing Decap Attack.
Yes, exactly.
In the bottom left, I've got a picture of a Super Aladdin Boy, which was the Korean version of the Sega Genesis, and I just think it's funny that it's called a Super Aladdin Boy, so that's why I got that picture. And yeah, I think we're ready to get started, so I'm going to do a quick play. Here we go. Let's get some audio here. We've got Marble Madness. So are these all Genesis games?
Yes, I believe so. They just are being played through that other game, but they are all Genesis game. They have specific goals. Like in Marble Madness, I believe it was beat stage 4.
Let's see if I can grab this paste bin. We'll have a better understanding of what it is. So yeah, the Genesis has, even though the Master System is kind of like the NES equivalent, there's a lot of NES, like you'll see arcade games ported to the NES and also in the Genesis. There's just like a lot of, because the Genesis was a little bit older than the Super Nintendo, so there's a lot of NES era arcade games with Genesis ports. A fun little way to celebrate that, I suppose. Okay, so I think we've got KirkQ off to an early lead here. Okay, so game 1 is Marble Madness, finish stage 3. Cheat infinite time. So you notice the 55 seconds is not counting down. Now, is this already stage 3 for KirkQ? Yeah, here we go. We're back to the main screen. Now you got to go for Frogger.
So one thing here, it doesn't happen for Kirk, but you cannot choose a game that you have already finished. And we just learned that after the race.
Oh, because if you do, it messes stuff up, or you're saying that it actually won't let you choose a game you've already finished?
The game locks.
Okay.
And that's kind of exactly what happens for Riocoys right now.
Got it.
So we spent a long while trying to figure out what happened there, and eventually they relaunched the game and oh, it's working now. So okay, I retimed it, we figured out what happened, but Riocoys will be in that screen for a while now. I believe I have notes on the sheet. I can look that up.
Well, let's see
with
if
how
we
long
can just...
he took.
We can just kind of do our own little retime here and drag through, and here we go. All right. So I just skip that part. Their cheat for
Perfect.
Froggers that they have infinite lives. They need to beat game 3.
This is kind of a theme, I would say, in these medley races, but like those games are quite simple and quite quick. and quite fast, like.
Yeah,
So we usually wouldn't see them in MTs. So it's quite interesting seeing that here.
it's true. Frogger's pretty challenging. I have some Frogger experience, so I mean, I'm sure I mean, it's hard to like be blind to Frogger, but like, or Marble Madness, honestly, but so they've probably seen it and played Frogger before, but probably not in this context.
Yeah.
And even with the infinite lives, really all that does is give you tries in Frogger. You're not really playing it any differently than you would if you didn't have infinite lives. There's no extra risks you can really take, because if you die, you have to start the level over anyway. KirkQ's destroying this. Beat level 3 already, almost beaten level 2. Frogger gets hard fast. Turn this up a little bit. All the games are different volume levels. I remember at one point, it must have been with my little brother when he was like a lot younger or something. We were in an arcade and we played Frogger. Maybe I don't remember who it was. They kept jumping on the grass and dying, and they're like, "But I gotta get my guy to the grass, right?" And it does look like that. It's honestly kind of weird that you don't jump on the grass. Like, I never really thought about it, but I don't really understand why
it makes a lot of sense. There's not even a lily pad for the frog there on the space.
Yeah. There isn't Atom played, but I do know it just involves Lua scripting and can be done in BizHawk, and also several other emulators that support Lua scripting. Sometimes NES ones are done in that FCEUX emulator. But if you've ever done anything with Lua, you could probably do this. I think it's just you load certain memory addresses and save states, and then you're just there. The timers and stuff probably takes a little bit more, but...
I mean, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's like loading a cheat, which we've done for quite a few races, and then something to load a ROM and a save state, as you mentioned. So it's nothing that difficult, it sounds, but still you need to figure out the address, the memory address and stuff. So it's
but I
not...
assume this custom screen here takes a little bit of...
Yeah, for sure.
And I think the reason that there's a 15-second countdown there, at least that's as true the NES RTA one, is that it loads the game and then inputs all the things that gets you into the game mode where it would already be starting. So like, oh, this is Flicky.
That could be it, but I assumed it was to give the players time to read the instructions.
Yeah, that's probably true too. Flicky is a pretty unforgiving game. I assume they have infinite lives for this. Let me pull up the face button.
Yeah, infinite lives, and the goal is to finish round 15.
Got it. Playing a lot of Flicky compared to Frogger. I guess Nico Jazz thought they would struggle a little bit more with Frogger, which might be true in some circumstances, but both these players were pretty good at Frogger, already on Flicky. Flicky is made by Sega, and this is like, Sonic and everything, but you've seen these little people in Sonic, like the little animals that are being saved. But basically, the screen wraps horizontally. This isn't an impossibly long look. You just need to... You can pick up these little things and throw them forward to kill enemies, and you just need to get all of the chicks. You don't have to get them all at once. And as you see, enemies can break up your line, which is really annoying. But if you do get more at once, you get a higher score. I don't think that's relevant to this goal, though.
But also, taking them all at once is, in a sense, faster because you don't have to go multiple times to the exit.
It's true. I mean, unless you really have to fight to make that happen. But you,
Yeah.
You also, there's a little animation when they go into the exit. You skip having to do that animation. Pretty fast, though.
Right. The door opening, everyone moving, and then closing. Yeah.
And I think Riocoys is one round behind. Oh no! They're just about even with the... I might have skipped ahead a little bit too far, but I don't think much further, so... Pretty close race at this point with the retime. Got some great arcade noises. I'm actually going to turn this down a little bit, because Flicky has some annoying noise. Oh, can he... Okay. Is this a full clear? That's a full clear for KirkQ. That's impressive.
For both of them.
Wow, massive time bonus, too. Maybe this is a fun one for Miss Corey. Might be a little simple.
I mean, it depends. Here, they have infinite lives, and that makes the game significantly easier.
It's true.
But I'm not sure. Let's see on both sides. On KirkQ's side, so he died, and he only needs to grab the 2 birds that were left. So that makes the game quite easier, instead of eventually getting a game over and having to redo a bunch of stage, or even, I don't know, having to redo a stage if they took a death, which
Yeah.
isn't the case, but it could be in some games.
Riocoys is ahead at this point. Assuming that I have the correct buttons for the correct people. Yeah, I do. Oh no!
Oh no!
Okay, I'll get back there, I'll get back there. Oh no! Okay, did this level, was like around that bonus stage, but then at this point would be further than that, so let's just say here. We have the final times, it's not that important. We're just watching them play some games here.
Here also is another interesting thing. There is no way to speed up this bonus stage, but you also don't need the lives, so you kinda have to do it just to pass the time.
We have a game that we ended up rejecting, but it had that where the second to last stage was just 5 minutes and it didn't matter at all what happened, but it always took 5 minutes. And you couldn't lose. It was just like about getting a score.
There is one game that I've subbed in the past that if you sub a goal, it's kinda on the shorter side, but if you try to lengthen it, there is an auto-scroller. And like, I don't want to sub a game that ends in an auto-scroller, that's pretty bad.
It's true. Yeah, final level auto-scroller, you might as well just not even have it. Alright, KirkQ with a finish on this stage.
And I clear for Kirk, and now both of them are on stage 10.
What? Oh man, yeah, this is we're back in Losers 1. This happened quite a while ago. Unfortunate deaths. When you have so many chicks and you die, they just are like... They go wild. They're just like, are not... It's hard to get them again.
I can't really say anything because I've never played this game, but this in a sense goes back to that old thing in mystery games, Do you try to go fast and grab every bird at once, or do you play it safe and go back more often to the exit, especially with infinite lives? Because then it doesn't matter if you die, because you've saved some chicks already.
Maybe I would try and get them all at once, but it's hard to say. The controls are a little weird. It's like you kind of bounce against walls, and you have a weird floaty jump. It's not bad, but it's definitely like a little different. Don't
It
let him
feels
fall!
from
Don't let him fall! No! KirkQ, let him fall!
it also feels quite slippery from
Yeah.
seeing them play.
Jeez, that little green guy looks fast. Oh. Now I disagree with this. Kirk should have gone to the door on the way down, I think.
Okay, yeah, because he went down, yeah. I can see the greedy in trying to get everyone at once, but like, yeah.
It's just less to deal with. Because the fact that the enemies can kind of cut off your line, like, you really can't do anything about that. Because your line can get so big that the enemies are basically off-screen by the time that they're touching it.
I see.
Whoa, nice dodge on that green guy.
I was gonna ask that, so that green guy does kill you or at least break your line?
I think so. I mean, why would he be there if he didn't? I guess I don't know that.
Okay, Nightcap D. You win by taking all the chicks to the exit. In this particular race, it's a medley, so they have a few games that they have to play to finish the race as a whole.
The way you win this one is stage 15. So we're in round 14 versus 13. KirkQ is pulled ahead, assuming that my timing is decent on these VODs. Might not be perfect, but we know what happened.
Since I modded this race, I know the results, but I'll stay quiet. I will just say that I'm happy with how this is going and this is looking alright for me.
Nice. Yeah, because what happened is Riocoys had about like it seemed like 30 minutes in the middle where they couldn't understand what was going on. And so we skipped all that, and so it looks like they're much closer than they were in real time. Super Hang On, a fun motorcycle game, a really nice looking game on the Genesis. Looked even better in the arcades for the year that it came out. Yeah, I gotta turn this up. Super Hang On is quiet.
And I was checking, as everyone can see on the timer on the top left. This one again, you have infinite time and you just have to finish the course.
It is Nightcap. This was made by Nico Jarrett's. Oh, jeez. Destroyed. So what do you have to do here? Is there a cheat at all? Infinite time. Yeah, time isn't counting down, I see. Finish beginner race. So you only just have to finish this race, huh?
This is again a interesting and weird game for Mr. Tournament because I don't know, personally I don't see much how these kind of racing games work. You just go forward.
Yeah, I guess you need to not hit stuff.
Yeah, that's speed up a bit, but there are small variations of time in how long you will take in a course.
So since this is the final game, it's pretty much already decided at this point. It's pretty hard for KirkQ to do so badly that he hit like that many things. Jeez, look at these numbers. The highest score ever. Why
was
is the
looking-
score so high? Oh, it starts. Oh man, it just goes. This is the fastest score counter in the world.
I was actually looking at the speed. That's like 270 kilometers hour,
That's decently
which is
fast. I mean, that's
really
pretty
a
fast
lot.
too, but we're playing Giga Wing here all of a sudden. Oh man, Kirk is getting destroyed.
Well, that's kind of what Riocoys need if he still wants to win this race, because this is the thing, you need your opponent to fall a lot, as you said, and you can't fall at all. Then there is a chance.
Yeah, 280. I mean, it's pretty fast. I don't know exactly what that is in miles per hour, which would make more sense to me. It's probably like 180 miles an hour. I don't know. I gotta look it up. 173. Pretty good guess. Honestly. Yeah, that's pretty fast.
And now it's 324 for a moment.
Well, that's pretty fast too. Oh my goodness.
The
That's
best
when you have
part
to
is-
super hang on for sure. You let go, you're dead.
But I mean, when they do hit anything, they just stop moments afterwards. It's not like they go flying away. So it can't be that fast.
Hitting a tree
in
at
the game.
180 miles an hour, yeah. I think that's the end of everything. The end of the tree, it's the end of the motorcycle, it's the end of you. But I mean, look at this score. It's worth it to take that risk, I think.
Right, those are some big points.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and okay, we do have a map on the top left corner on each side. We can see that KirkQ is on
okay.
the second to last. I just noticed it now, on the second to last part, while Riocoys is on the third part, so approaching the middle of the stage. I was going to compare using the score, but that's actually better. Last checkpoint for Kirk.
These are long races. That's too long, honestly. Like, I think that's a bad design in this game. I don't think a race should be this long.
So I don't think I've played super hang-on, at least not on the Sega Genesis. I did play on the arcade, but I feel like Road Rash ends up being more interesting because there is interaction between you and the other racers.
Yeah, we can punch them.
Also, yeah, and the races are shorter from what I remember.
We played I really recommend checking out the arcade game Pool Riders, which is I guess it's kind of like Outrun, where you can choose 3 different directions at the end instead of 2. But also, you're like, you can play with a bunch of wacky characters, like some old guy riding a bicycle, and he's like just as fast as like motorized vehicles. It's a crazy game. Highly recommend it.
Nice. And that's time for KirkQ.
Oh, there they all are. They're like, hey, nice job. Look at this
and
high score. My goodness, insane. What happens if
and
it goes
it's still
higher?
going. Oh, because of the time, it was still
Oh,
going.
I see. It was. I was like, oh no. Because the time never went down. Nice. So that's a done from KirkQ. Let's look at the official times here. Because I had to jump around a little bit weird. Well, actually, I don't know how, because I don't know what this is called. It's like multi-game, I guess? Multiple game race? Yeah, here we go. KirkQ with a 23:47, pretty close. And Riocoys, well, with a this time as a 42:21, but it ended up being, I don't know, probably just a little bit longer than KirkQ, maybe 2 or 3 minutes longer. It looks like.
Yeah, I do remember it was somewhat close. I want to say 2 minutes between the two of them in the end, but it wasn't as close that there was any doubt of who won the race.
Yeah. Well, that seems to be about what we're seeing here. It was all in Flicky. Honestly, Riocoys was close. Like, this wasn't crazy. It could have pulled ahead in Flicky, it seems like, but didn't do well in the last couple levels.
Yeah, to be fair, I did have to double check a few times as I was retiming everything because I was like, this looks too close, but the results aren't close. And yeah, I guess it's just as you said, it was one game that they were slightly slower, and that kind of, I mean, Real Coins was slower overall, but it was a tiny bit here, a tiny bit there, and quite a bit in Flick.
And here we have. So did Nico Jazz just code that it switches back to this screen as soon as you hit top out on score? Let's see.
That would be an interesting way to do that. I mean, that's a lot of digits, though it's going fast.
Yeah,
And yeah,
yeah. Maybe the game crashes. That's great.
that's a nice way to do it.